Good afternoon. My name is Zachary Patton. I'm a sophomore here at Fresno State. My major is business administration. My option is urban land economics and real estate. Today, I'll be talking about 3D printing, how it works, what are slicers, and overall, the practical applications of it. What are 3D printers? 3D printers are machines that use plastic to create a 3D model. Now, from the bottom left to the bottom right are 3 examples of 3D printers from various brands. They all work generally the same way. Now, what material, you may ask? The material that almost all 3D printers use is called PLA. It's biodegradable, it's eco-friendly, and it's extremely affordable. It melts at around 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the industry standard is ABS, and ABS melts at 750 degrees Fahrenheit, and most machines that are affordable and available to the consumer market cannot run ABS. ABS is commonly used for prototyping and on the professional side, where PLA is more for hobbyists like myself. Now, how a 3D printer works. Now, starting with the black arrow in the top left, the filament is pushed in by an extruder, and the extruder is the gray box that's pointed to by the red arrow. So the filament starts near the red arrow, gets pushed up to the hot end that is next to the blue arrow, and then the model is created on the build plate, which is represented by the yellow arrow. Overall, there's a lot that can go wrong here, and many people become frustrated, but the general idea of how 3D printer works is very simple. You have filament that comes on a plastic roll, you push it through a tube to the hot end, that's the gold nozzle that's pointed to by the blue arrow, and it comes out on a build plate that is pointed to by the gold arrow, and the build plate is the red object that blue box is sitting on. And then the printer knows what it's doing based off of a set of instructions it receives from a slicer software. Now, on the right side of the screen is an example of the most common 3D print in the world, a little plastic boat, often used to calibrate 3D printers. And 3D printers are capable of making objects like this, as well as objects that are a little bit more practical. Now, through 3D model and instructions, generally to make a 3D model, you need a modeling software such as CAD or Tinkercad. Computers can run them, iPads can run them. Recently, they've become very versatile and easy to use. Or you can find an open source model, such as something on Thingiverse or another software like GrabCAD, where its files are free. And then you need to take that file into a slicer, and that's number 2 here on the bottom. And a slicer takes that 3D model and creates instructions for the 3D printer to follow. Now, brands. Creality, represented here on the left side of the screen, is the most common brand of 3D printers. They're affordable, less than $200, and they overall work. Most people that have 3D printers use the Creality brand. Now, on the right side of the screen is the brand Bamboo Labs. Bamboo Labs is one of the best printers on the market for the amount they cost. Right now, they're running around $400. Almost all high schools that have engineering departments use the Bamboo Lab printers, as well as here at Fresno State, the engineering department has multiple of these printers. They're faster and they have the ability of printing in multiple colors at once, where this Creality printer on the left side prints one color at a time and is typically very slow. Now, practical applications. 3D printing is great for bringing ideas to life and for modeling things. On the left side, we see a turbine here that's been modeled, and that'd be great in a classroom for showing students how gear ratios work or how turbines that make electricity. 3D printing is amazing for stuff like that. Now, on the right side, we have a model airplane. Recently, this winter break, I printed a plane like this, and I built the model with my nephew. He's around 5 years old, and through this, I taught him how to use CAD. It was an iPad program he could drag with his fingers. He created a plane similar to this, and we tested it out, and I taught about aerodynamics and drag. And that was a practical application of 3D printers of teaching physics to a child. Now, why 3D printing out of all other hobbies? I love 3D printing. I love making ideas and then watch them come to life on the 3D printer. I've fixed numerous things in my house through 3D printing, such as light switches and little plastic pieces. I think it is a tangible form of making your ideas come to reality. Now, in conclusion, today we covered the functionality of 3D printers, what materials they use, and how design software works, and how a slicer works to create instructions from that design software, and lastly, the practical applications of 3D printers.